In this video, we are taking a ride on the free tram that is available in Balboa Park. Our starting point is Inspiration Point, which is located across the street from Balboa Park. Sometimes when you get to Balboa Park, the parking fills up. This is another option to avoid some stress. You can easily park in the tram parking lot, hop on the tram, and it will take you around Balboa Park. The starting point again is Inspiration Point. That is available on Google Maps, and I will try to include the address in the description here. As we are riding along here, we are entering Balboa Park, and to the left of us will be the area that includes the Air and Space Museum, the Automotive Museum, and the Comic-Con Museum. To the right of us will be the parking lot for the Spreckles Organ Pavilion, and that is a pipe organ that provides some musical events throughout the year. You can check the Balboa Park website, and they should have a schedule there. I will include more information in the description. Now at this stop, to the left is the area with the Auto Museum, the Comic-Con Museum, and the Air and Space Museum. As we turn the corner here, we will be passing by an art exhibit, which includes local artists, and their work is for sale. If you see these kind of special events happening, just stop on by and take a look, see what's going on. Behind the display is the International Cottages. These are the Hall of Nations International Houses, and they have weekend events throughout the year, including sampling of international foods specific to each of the houses, and lawn programs where they do dancing and play instruments and all kind of stuff. All that is free with a nominal cost for the taste of the foods that are presented during the programs. To the right, this is where the organ pavilion is. This is the Spreckles Organ Pavilion. There is plenty of seating, but believe it or not, that does fill up during the summertime and during popular programs. As you can see back there in the background is the pipe organ. Sometimes that doorway is closed. The organ is covered up by a security door. As we continue on, we will be coming up to the Japanese Friendship Garden. There is a fee for entrance, but it's right there. There's also a little tea pavilion where you can purchase tea and I believe some small snacks. As we continue on, we will be passing the Prado Restaurant. It is located within the building that is on the right. First, we'll pass by a walkway, and then you will see another building. Within that building is the Prado Restaurant, as well as a coffee cart. There is parking there for bicycles. I believe we will also see Segway tours and opportunities to visit different museums. So first we'll come up to one of the first stops. The stops are very clearly marked as you're walking through the park. Here is a statue, which I did not research who that is. Again, I can include that in the description. And you can see the organ pavilion in the background there again, and some excited passengers hurrying to get on the tram. Now on the tram, it is open on both sides, I believe, so you'll be able to get on from both sides, but stay seated while the tram is in motion. Again, it is a free tram. The loop from the parking around the route took about 15 to 20 minutes. Again, it depends on how many people are getting on and off of the tram. This would be a good stopping point for the Museum of Us, the Science Museum, and the Art Museum. It would be a little bit of walking from this point to get to the other museums, but it saves a little time and a little headache from trying to deal with the parking. So again, if you get onto the tram at Inspiration Point, there is an opportunity to travel through Balboa Park or travel to the zoo. When you get onto the tram, you can indicate to the driver which one you are wanting to go to. There's a lot of parking at Inspiration Point, so during busier times, it is nice to be able to take the tram and park a little farther out, but not worry about having to walk too much. I believe you can bring a stroller onto the tram. You would just need to collapse it. And there is also straps for buckling in wheelchairs. There are a lot of trails to walk around Balboa Park. There's so many things to explore. To really take full advantage, it's going to take more than a day. Now, as we come up to this corner, we are going to turn right here, and then we're going to go down a little side street that will take us to the other side of the International Cottages. And I will give you an insider tip. It's not really the greatest, but at this corner that will be to the right of us, as you're sitting in the seat on the tram, there would be a restroom. The restroom has a lot of stalls, but honestly, it does not smell very nice. So you'll want to use the restrooms located in other areas of the park. The unhoused persons go in there and they do not keep it very clean. So I would take an opportunity in another restroom, not that restroom. So here we have seen there are people taking advantage of the nice green belt, and they are practicing their martial arts. And this is a lawn area near the International Cottages. And when you are going to the International Cottages, you can walk around the perimeter, but you can also walk into the center even when they're not open. You can go around and take a look at what the different houses are. There is a gift shop, so you can go in and get some souvenirs there, as well as when you're walking through, you can look at the schedules. I believe each house has a schedule posted on the door. Some of the houses share with different countries. So this is a really cool thing. They typically have their events on the weekends. So if you are here during the summer or any other time, go ahead and check the Balboa Park website and see what the offerings are for the International Cottages. Some other things in this area, there is a puppet theater, and then there is a building called the Balboa Club. I'm not sure what is a regular thing happening in the Balboa building, in the Balboa Club building, but I do know in the past they've had events like guacamole contests and stuff like that. So again, your best resource, you can check the Balboa Park website, and then they should have a schedule of different events and where they are located in the park. The puppet theater is called the Murray Hitchcock Puppet Theater, and when my kids were little, we would go there. It had great entertainment for little kids, but the puppetry and stuff, I believe, is all done by volunteers. So, keep that in mind. Here we're coming to another tram stop. As you can see, there are green and white signs. It says that the tram is, this is the tram stop, and I believe it gives a schedule as well. Later on in the video, you will see back at Inspiration Point the information and maps for the tram. So that stop would be the stop for the Comic-Con Museum, the Air and Space Museum, the Automotive Museum, and the Plaza too. That stop is not too far from the Plaza. The Plaza is the location where the first stop was. Now we are going behind some of the buildings, so this kind of takes us a little shortcut through to another parking lot. So even if you park back at one of these parking lots, you'll have an opportunity to get on the tram and be taken a little bit closer into the park. I will say that the tram was not, super 100% smooth. It kind of jerks a little bit as you're accelerating and decelerating, or as the driver is accelerating and decelerating. So be mindful of that. Have your children sit down, and then definitely always have a hand ready to grab the support bars on the seats. The day that I rode it, there was plenty of space, but I know that in the past I have seen where the tram fills up. It does seem to run pretty frequently, so if you're patient, you can wait for the next tram and then hop on board. And here we are in the back of the Comic-Con Museum, and that's where there is another stop. So if you forgot to get off, you can have an opportunity to get off here, and then you would just walk towards the front of the museum. This advertisement is the back of the museum, but the walk is maybe 2 minutes, and there's a sidewalk, so it would be totally accessible in any kind of mobility assistance, wheelchair, scooters, stuff like that. And then we're off again, and now we will be heading back towards Inspiration Point, and that would be the end of the ride. Now, during the weekends, there are usually lots of different kinds of events happening at Balboa Park. And I know this video might be a little bit plain for some people, but I know for myself it's helpful when I'm planning on going to a new location to see what is around, what are the options, what's going to happen if I park in this location, how am I going to get to this other attraction or something. Is it going to be too far to walk? So this is a great help. Let's say you want to do a lot of walking, but then at the end of your day, you're thinking, man, I really just need to take a break. Let me hop on the tram and get myself back to my car. An Inspiration Point is not that far for people who are not mobility challenged. You'll be able to walk from Inspiration Point into Balboa Park, no problem at all. But then after you're finished exploring, you might be really tired, and then you just want to, take a little free ride and go back to the parking area. And here we are heading on the last leg towards Inspiration Point to end the route through Balboa Park. So you see we had 3 stops where we had an opportunity to get off. We had the starting point and then 3 stops along the route. So it really does give you a lot of options on where you will be able to get on and off. And the tram is free, so go ahead and take advantage. It is pretty comfortable, and I believe during inclement weather they have some vinyl covering for the windows, but it also would allow for a nice breeze on a hot summer day when you're going back to your car, because it is an open air tram, so you'll feel the air going through and cooling you off. The location of Inspiration Point, I believe there is also a Veterans Museum located here. So you can, let's say you're exploring Balboa Park, you've found a great parking within the park, you can ride the tram over here, explore the Veterans Museum, and then take the tram back to your parking if you did not park at Inspiration Point. Here we go. This is the schedule. You can see there summer, winters, or summer hours, fall and winter hours, and then a map. So you'll be able to look at the map, kind of plan your trip while you are waiting for the tram. And then you see the tram in the background.